drops, no one knows. We're going down. We're going down. We're going down. We're going down. Do you dare to follow me down? Head into the unknown.
Hello, everybody. How's your day going today? I still don't have window coverings, so I had to turn my desk around. So I'm facing this wall here, and the light is still, I feel like it's a weird light. So I apologize. Sun should start going down soon enough. But Melissa is here, American Justice. Hey, Melissa, how are you? You muted? Okay, good.
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through chat and say hi to everybody, and then we're going to get going because I don't remember seeing you before. But thanks for being here. Good to see you. Hey, Jane. Hey, Gren and Steph. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you. Jane, that's so nice. Thank you so much. Countryside wildflowers. We're going to go through some things that Countryside had brought up the other day with the court docs. Hey, Marie, good to see ya. And Carrie, hi. Root Strength, hey. Carrie, I still have 2 hours to listen from last night's Powerhouse event. That was a long one, 5 hours. 5 hours, yeah. Thanks for watching it, though. It was a hoot. It was a good time. I feel like it went off without a hitch, actually. TJ's mom, good to see you. And who else? Anyone else? Carol, good to see you. Hi. If I miss anybody, I'm trying to get through this because I have a guest and I'm being rude right now. CJ, good to see you. Hey, Seawood. And Carla from Newfoundland. Thanks for being here. How's the weather where everybody was? I know last night was quite the storm on the East Coast. Graham Tam. And Sunny's in the house. Hey, Sunny. Belinda. Good to see ya. Blue Jay, hi. Gaspe, is that where you're from? I know somebody there. Hey, Sailor Moon. Nana. Oh, hey, Deb. Great to see you. Thanks for joining today. I haven't seen you for quite a while. Hi, Colleen and Allison. Anybody else? Cindy, April, as always, good to see you. Hey, Addie V. And Just the Facts, ma'am. American Justice. Hey. Hey, Carla, Charmaine, you and Sunny and Daphne and everyone that was on the panel last night did an absolutely amazing job. Congratulations. Love the show. Thank you. Like I said, it was a hoot. I think it was really well done. Nobody talked over each other. We all got a lot of information. Well, not information out, but we reviewed a lot of theories, a lot of our own feelings. And I would love to do a part 2 with some different creators. And but that's hard to say, right? Like who steps down and who steps up, you know what I mean? So it's something that we can definitely hash out, and I can definitely see that happening again because it was good, but there was a lot of information that we didn't even touch on. So it's definitely, and that was 5 hours. So it's good. Hey, Sharon. And what's in my chat? Hey, Bobby Joe. And Kelly. Been so busy. I'm I'm sure you have been. How's the new role going? Hopefully that's going well for you. Another Cheryl. Good to see. I think I haven't seen you before either, but I'm glad that you're here today. And when we get into it, I'm gonna start messing around with my light because I feel like I'm in like a dungeon with the sun. It's bizarre. But anyways, so last night was great. Melissa doesn't normally go live very often, but she is streaming to her channel. I'm going to insist that y'all go over, if you haven't subbed to Melissa yet, you need to do so. She built this document, this monstrous, I think we're calling it the Holy Grail, the Jack and Lily Sullivan case. And it's got clickable links all through it to find basically any information that you're looking for. And I know it's a work in progress, Melissa, you're still actively working on this thing. So do you have a link that you can stick in the chat for it? I'm going to pull it up on the community, but in case anybody wants to follow along, I guess I could also do it. But are you there?
I am going to try to grab that link if it'll let me.
Okay. So I'm opening the document right now. And most of what we're going to talk about today is in the document. Anything that's not, I can obviously pull up the actual court docs, but like just the regular link, they should be able to open it, correct?
Yeah, they'll be able to open it, click through all the slides.
Yeah, so if you wanted to follow along, it's in the chat there. And then for now, Google Docs. I'm going to pull it up onto the stage. And this is what we're looking at. And I don't know if this is still the same as you see, Melissa. I think it's a little bit different for you. But it doesn't matter if I open it straight on. Like if I download it and open it, I still have the same view. So I don't know. But it's really easy to navigate. It's got the links along the side here, whatever you're looking for. And yeah, I think it's fantastic. So let me just have a look here, because one of the things that I wanted to talk about, actually, it was Countryside Wildflowers. A few live streams ago had brought up something and then sent me a screenshot, and we can have a look at it if I can find it in the document. If not, I can use the screenshot that was shared with me. And the email says, RCMP docs where Malaya recounts shutting Jack's door and Lily going to bed with her backpack. And then there's some redacted info in there too. And just so you know, I reached out to a couple of people this morning. Should have done it before, but I didn't. Just to find out what kind of divider or partition that there was in the bedroom. Like, was it a sheet? Did they have dressers lined up? Was it an actual physical partition? So if I do get that information back during the live, I can verify or whatever, let you know. But basically what we're looking at, let me just see here. So it was page, do you recall anything about this? It was page 40 or 14 of 39, I want to say.
If you go to page 14 of 47, it's there at the bottom.
But which document? Because there were a number. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to share the screen instead. We'll pull the document back up in a couple of moments. Just because, my channel members know I'm a shit show. Melissa doesn't know. She's used to being on with Sunny, who's totally organized and knows what she's doing. But I tried to give her a heads up, but it is what it is. Okay, so that evening, she got the kids something to eat, and they were watching TV. She said they might have gone outside sometime to play, but they came in when it was getting dark. She got their teeth brushed and they wore their clothes to bed because all the clothes were still in bags from when she washed them at her grandmother's house, and she hadn't gotten around to putting them away. Lily and Jack were hyper and excited. She got them tucked into bed around 10 p.m. Jack had his blanket and his dinosaur, and she shut his door. Redacted. Lily went to bed with her backpack. I don't know that. Like, I mean, what are you getting at? Do you think Countryside? I know you're here. Are you wondering if she was like packed and ready to go somewhere the following day? Is that kind of what you're wondering? So I just take that as, this, because Daniel had told me this was her play backpack, basically. But then he came out and said it was her Nana Cindy sleepover backpack. So, like, I don't know. What do you think, Melissa?
Well, the first time I read it, I read it like you did, like, okay, they went to bed, she shut the door. But that's not what the documents actually say. They say she shut his door, not the door to the room. So like you, how was this divided? Because if it was one room separated in two, but he has his own door, but she didn't shut Lily's door?
That is weird. Or my phone was dinging. Hopefully, maybe that was an answer. No. No, it wasn't. So, I mean, it's on the list of questions that are out there from me to certain people to have answered, but that, I mean, that's interesting. And it's not that I'm discounting Kiki at all. I'm just not. But with nothing else to back up her story about the Jack being strapped into the car seat, this and that, in the closet, I'm wondering if he, oh my God, I don't, it sounds worse than I mean it, but was his bed or whatever in a closet area? And maybe it was like a walk-in or something. And Daniel had said there was no closets. They took out the closet. So was that space? But then what door? So it would have to be the main door. So why does it say that she shut his door? That is odd, I guess. Do you think it's odd? I don't know.
It's a little odd. I wouldn't say it's the oddest thing in the document, but I would say it's a little odd, the wording of his door and not their door or the door, but specifically his door.
Yeah. I mean, good catch, Countryside. Did they put anything in chat to kind of clarify where they were? I mean, it's pretty clear to me that this is kind of what they were wanting to talk about, but I mean, hopefully Daniel or the other person will get back to me about that, just to let me know, what kind of partition was there. Maybe because they do make actual partitions, right? Where some of them even have a door, but they're more so used for like a cubicle in an office area to separate workers and stuff. And there's usually no doors, but I don't know. It's a little odd. So not sure if they went outside, but they for sure came inside at dark. For sure? How do you know that for sure? Carol, it was mild, thankfully. Okay. Didn't they do laundry on Wednesday? Yeah, they did. And this was Thursday, so she still hadn't gotten around to unpacking their clothes from Grandma Patty's, which again, I think we've all cast judgment on Malaya for that fact already, because now we're looking at Thursday night and you still don't have a pair of pajamas for your kids. It's odd. That's also odd. Answers everyone's questions. Did they buy Jack and Lily anything at Acropole? Melissa, didn't it say that they got the kids a bagel? I believe. Not at Acapulco. Acapulco was
Not at
just Lucy.
Acapulco.
Right. I wonder if Belinda had seen their bedroom during her time at the trailer on search days. From my recollection and understanding, Belinda was just in the common area, like the living room area where the family was kind of congregated. I don't know that she took a tour. I could be wrong. Have you ever heard anything like that, Melissa, about Belinda seeing the house? Like, or their room, which I mean, I think maybe I would have if I was in her place, I would have maybe asked if I could see their room. I don't know. I don't know that people would think to do that, you know? What do you think, Melissa?
Yeah, I haven't heard that she went inside the house or seen the room. I do remember asking that at one point, but honestly, I would have to go back in the chat to see what was said because I don't remember what the answer to that was.
Mm-hmm. Maybe when Daniel's kids weren't there, they slept in separate rooms. Ori, that's a good point, but I would think, and I could be wrong, but I would think that Daniel would have said that. I know that I can't remember exactly what it was, but we posed something to him a few weeks back about we were talking, or maybe we were talking on a live stream, and then offline he told me that the kids were comfortable with each other, right? So Daniel's older kids were comfortable together, and Jack and Lily were more comfortable together. So that's why they kept the rooms the way they were. But that's a good point. If the older kids aren't there, why would the kids need to sleep in the same room? I mean, a very good point. And maybe, but I do think that Daniel would have maybe specified that because I mean, people were kind of like they were saying that exact same thing. Like, why exactly do the kids need separate rooms and double up separate rooms? And I was saying, like, why wouldn't Lily be with what's his older daughter's name, Rain or something, Raina, and then Jack with. I wish I could remember his older kids' names, but you know what I mean. Boys with boys, girls with girls. I would wonder if she was going to leave. She should have just stayed where she done laundry, which is a good point, which makes me believe, like, or wonder, was she truly planning on leaving that day? You know, the Friday or whatever. Did you ever consider the fact that she had planned to leave that day, Melissa? Like she had it planned, and I know there was talk about Daniel maybe finding out her plan and then, you know, kind of going off the deep end. Was that ever something that you considered?
It was something I considered early on. I thought, well, maybe she was just going to stay at Grandma Patty's and Daniel caught wind and that's why he went and stayed in the car. And maybe that's why she didn't, because he insisted on going.
That's actually a really good possibility. Never even thought of that. But then, you know, why would he be so shocked that she left? I mean, it's all so bizarre. Maybe she knew she was leaving and didn't bother unpacking them. Yeah. 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 Poutine's okay. Thanks, Marie. Belinda stated she didn't see the kids' rooms. Yeah. Daniel said at Tim Hortons, but he thought Jack and Lily were sleeping. I do remember that. Oh, here's Sunny. I remember asking her that question, and it was just in the living room, kitchen area, or whatever, not the bedrooms. What? That they were divided? I don't understand. And Anybody else have any questions to do with this, or I'm hoping that Sunny can clarify more. Hey, Sunny, do you want to come up with us?
She was talking about here when you asked if Belinda had seen the bedrooms.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, perfect. The rooms were divided, yeah, and that's what we're trying to figure out, because in the document here, Malia said she closed Jack's door. It doesn't say their door, so it's just that's a little weird. It's a little odd. So, do you want to? I think until we find out what kind of a partition that was, I think we're kind of at a standstill with that one. There's not a whole lot we can even speculate on. I appreciate that, Sunny. Menopause brain. You have to be patient with me. Where's that document now? All right. Let's pull the document back up, and then we're going to go to, first we're going to go to the polygraphs. Polygraph wording, because there seems to be quite a bit of, I don't even know what you call it. People are, I guess, subjectively looking at it and perceiving it to mean one thing, and most of us perceive it to mean something completely different. So let me just quickly do this for a second, just so I have it there. Okay. Now, polygraph results. See how cool this is, you guys? Just see that? I just clicked on it and away we go. We're at the polygraph results. So, Melissa, do you happen to remember some of the speculation, I guess? Not even speculation, just the way people are remembering this thing or interpreting this thing. Let's see. Do you have all of the polygraph results in here? Or no? I'm going to have to pull up my Travis email. Travis email. See, and I don't know. Are you there, Melissa? Am I by myself? Melissa, are you here?
What? Yep, I'm here.
Okay. I can't hear you. Just trying to find. I have an entire folder. Travis, the lawyer, he took all the court documents and he put it in this amazing folder for me. See, but it says marked up missing persons, and that's not what it is. It's a link to an entire, he called it the Sullivan disappearance folder. I can't find it now. Travis. Oh, there it is. There it is. Do you remember which document the polygraphs are in?
So if you go to the one that is 47 pages, go to page 27 at the bottom. That's the start of the polygraph results.
Freaking security. I have to enter codes and shit to get into his folder to get it, but I don't get it. They're public documents, but all right. And I had gone through all these and I had renamed them to what was in them. feel yeah, it doesn't have page numbers on here. The hell, you guys? Folder. Yeah, there's absolutely no page numbers on here.
If you click where it says court documents, you can scroll down to the different sets that are actually in there that are photographed.
It'd be so much easier if you just had them because you've been through them so much. And
Well, they're there in the document. Click where it says court documents.
I did. Why isn't this
No,
pulling up
click
for me?
where it actually says court documents.
Oh, here? Oh. Oh,
Yeah, now scroll
this
down.
is all. Oh, 5 of 45. I see what you're saying. Okay. And we want page 47, you said?
27 of 47.
Uh-oh. This is of 38.
The page number on the side will be 80, if that helps you any, give or take.
Sure. Sure does. All right. So who is the first one? There's Malaya. Polygraph examination results. On May 12, 2025, Daniel underwent a polygraph examination at the Bible Hill RCMP detachment conducted by Sergeant Rose Bard. Whatever. The following is a summary of the polygraph examination report. Sergeant Rose, whatever, no disrespect, but what is that? Birthday me? Whatever. Said the analysis of the polygraph tracings associated to Daniel's polygraph examination procedure indicated he was truthful, redacted. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and I remember Travis talking about this, and this would be specific questions 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So is
That's
that
how I took it, yeah.
Yeah, and Daniel said that there were 4 questions in total, but that kind of, and I don't know, would you, if you were explaining it to somebody, would you include the baseline questions in that whole thing, or would you say there were 4 questions complete? Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, I would say, well, there was like 14 questions or something, but most of them were just general questions. But instead, there were 4 questions, and here's 4 questions. Just makes me wonder if there weren't more questions. But again, why does it say was truthful? Indicated he was truthful, redacted. What's the reason for that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I probably, as just a regular person, would say that there were, 6 baseline questions and 4 actual questions or something. But I can also understand where somebody would say, well, there were 4 questions, because they tell you, okay, now we're going to start the test. And so if you take it from there and say, okay, now we're going to start the test, and then you count the questions from there. He counted 4 questions, and that is what they ask him. So I can see his way of saying it and why he would say it that way.
But what's redacted then? He wouldn't say, well, I was truthful when answering these 4 questions, but I don't know. It's odd to me. Hi, Sunny. How are you?
Tired, but I'm good.
Just trying to go over, because I think we all take this to mean, Well, myself anyways, there's nothing in here that says that they actually passed their polygraph exams, other than I believe Cody and Wade used the term passed. But Malaya and Daniel specifically, and I believe too Cindy, says they were truthful when answering redacted. So I mean, it may be nothing, but to me it could be something. What do you think, Sunny?
Sorry, what was it was about the polygraphs?
Yeah, just the wording of the report. Like there's a couple of people where it specifically says they passed and were truthful, but then Daniel, Malaya, and I believe Cindy were truthful when answering redacted. You know, they're not being specific about what they were truthful about and why
Right.
don't they say passed. And I know
Right.
it's an issue for a lot of the people in my chat whenever we talk about this stuff, because people are saying, well, and I mean DT too, they passed their polygraph exams, that means they're cleared, but I fail to see
Yeah.
where it says they passed.
Right. And then, Charmaine, the thing about this is, first of all, Daniel said he was asked 4 questions. They were all to do with death, like our murder story of the children, and that there was nothing else. So kind of like when I had asked Gemini this question, and they used actually the example of exactly this situation. And it was like, even though that they could be truthful in these questions, doesn't mean, like they could pass based on, again, if you're a narcissist or whatever, right? But based on the questions, but that doesn't mean that they passed. They were just, that doesn't mean that they didn't have any involvement. It just means that they were truthful in certain questions.
Right.
Different wording than other ones.
Yeah, but I mean, people are saying, well, they're different. The person that wrote the reports, they could be different people, and so their wording would be different. And I don't buy that either, because there's going to be one polygrapher, like one polygraph examiner, but the person compiling the results and the reports, you would think it would be the same person.
You would think.
You would think, and I feel like it would be in here. Sergeant Daw stated, Malaya willingly agreed to undergo a polygraph examination in relation to this investigation in an effort to eliminate her as a suspect in causing her children's disappearance and possible murder. She was found to have been truthful when answering the following questions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, were those all the questions?
Well, right. So they would be baseline, like he would have baseline questions, like Daniel said, right? You're taking 3 tests, but they're all to do with the same thing. You're first asked to get a baseline, of the questions to see, then you're given the polygraph, or, the second part. And then the third part is kind of like, again, they wanted asking those same questions, but they wanted you to lie because they want to determine the baseline. So it's still all part of the same thing. So when it says multiple tests, I think April said that, it's not that it's multiple tests, it's the same questions, but they're just determining a baseline. And they're asking you to be dishonest for the sake of the baseline.
Right. So I wonder if that, I mean,
But I want to,
if questions are based on the murder of these kids, then to me, when you do a polygraph exam, it should be based on the statement that individual gave. So if they're giving them a static polygraph exam, same 4 questions to all these people, what a waste of a resource. My opinion.
I'm disappointed by, like, when I see this myself, right? Because again, so let's say the children died from taking meth, but you didn't, like, say cause the murder, they just got into it. So you're going to pass some of those questions because it was to do with, like, did you intentionally or whatever, harm Lily or Jack, right? Obviously, it wouldn't be intentional, let's say, if they got into meth. But to me, again, I really wish that we would see a whole polygraph redone on people.
Yeah. Yeah, or like based on their own statements, because that's, to me, that's what, if you're going to use it as a tool, because it's not admissible in court, whatever. But if you're going to use it as an investigative tool, then the tool is to see if they're being truthful or dishonest
Right.
about what they've already said. So if this is a static polygraph with the same 4 questions, seems a little wasteful to me. What do you think, Melissa?
So I just want to point out that truthful versus past on a polygraph, if you look it up, truthful means, which is ideal, right? It says you are generally telling the truth. Whereas past means the machine and the examiner interpret your physical responses as consistent with truthfulness. So the fact that it says truthful doesn't bother me. What does get me is the redaction, right? I know they're not going to tell us everything. So if they ask Daniel, did you have anything to do with the death of Jack and Lily? And he says no. Okay, he's truthful. Did you have drugs in the home that you feel could have led to the death of Jack and Lily? Yes, would have still been truthful. See what I mean? So, like, even though it says truthful, we don't know what the questions that he was truthful to. He could have flat out said, when they said, did you have anything to do with the unaliving of Jack and Lily? He could have said yes and still been truthful. Like, they still would have said, oh, it's truthful, but it's redacted, so we don't know. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. What is the harm in giving us the questions? We don't have to have his answers,
Well,
but what were the actual questions?
Absolutely. Yeah. And Daniel's such a narcissistic liar. He would pass something like this in his heartbeat, because his lying is his way. It's like a normal way for him.
Just looking, because I know that Cody Sullivan uses the word past.
Yeah, you were just at his a second ago, right there.
Right here.
It says truthful.
Cody, the word polygraph, it says truthful?
Yeah. Indicated he was truthful.
Redacted, but so that's the same thing. The one of them, I thought Cody's did too, but one of them said he passed. Where is it?
Well, no, I don't have all of the court documents. So one of the earlier court documents might have said passed. But I do want to point out, because you brought up, you would have thought it was the same polygrapher for each person. So Daniel Martell, Janie McKenzie, and Cindy Murray were all questioned by Sergeant Rose. Cody Sullivan and Wade Paris were questioned by Sergeant Firth, and Malaya was questioned by Sergeant Dawn. So you've got 2 main ones, and one that questioned half of them, 3 out of 6. So there really was, in my opinion, not that big of a difference in the wording, because 3 of the 6 had the same person.
Like, I'm kind of confused, because I do have, and it wasn't the actual document, but it was a screenshot in the document, but it said was truthful and passed, or passed and was truthful. But it's not in here. So I'm wondering if people are out there fucking with these documents and then taking screenshots of their edited versions, because I know what I saw, but it's not in here.
So
the same thing.
You guys talk for a minute. I'm going to go look at the other court documents I have and see if I can find the one that you're talking about.
What other court documents? There's more?
Oh my God. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 16 different sets of court documents.
Right. Approximately. So, I mean, that's because, remember, when they first sent it, when I first got the documents there, right? And Belinda had sent them to me. It came in like, I think there was like 12 or 13 or something like that. And then, yeah. So, and then the last ones I got, of course, was where they unredacted more. So so I thought it was passed for Cody as well. I thought I recall passed for Cody, not just truthful.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was Wade as well, but TJ said they remember Daniel talking about the polygraph on DT and said he was asked 5 questions, not 4. And then there's, so how do I play with the layout, Sunny? Like, how do I move you? Because Melissa doesn't have her, like, she doesn't show her face. So
you can just drag me up. You should just be able, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because then I don't feel bad for, because she doesn't have her camera.
Charmaine, always on your screen here, there's that little pencil edit button. That's how you can play with things as well during the live. Like you'll see on this particular mode that you have it set up in, you just click the pencil to edit.
Okay, cool.
And then you can make things smaller, bigger.
That's crazy. Cool. Okay, I'll have to play with that. So then, yeah, so cool. Polygraphs are not used by RCMP to determine if someone is lying. They're used as a tool to gather information. Okay, so what, if these are the same 4 questions for everybody, what exactly is the benefit of gathering that same information that none of these people killed kids? That to me still is a wasted resource instead of questioning them based on the statements that they provided to see if there was anything that they were being untruthful about. That is what would be a useful investigative tool, in my opinion, I think. Instead of asking everybody the same question, oh, I guess you didn't kill the kids, we'll just go back into the woods. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
I just realized, and it's up on the screen now, but it says that she was found to have been truthful when answering the following questions. So does that indicate that there were questions she was not truthful to?
That's what I'm reading into it. And wasn't it like that for Daniel too? No, indicated when he indicated he was truthful, redacted. Like the whole thing for Daniel is redacted. She was found to have been truthful when answering the following questions: 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Janie. Well, I think Janie went through the polygraph, but the results couldn't be shared because her physiological whatever.
I'm pretty sure, Charmaine, that if I'm not mistaken, I believe Belinda said Cody as well was asked 4 questions.
No, but she said there was like, I want to say like 14 baseline questions.
Baselines, right.
Right. So to me, I understand that if there's all these baselines and then just 4 main questions, that's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
But why did Daniel say 4 questions or 5 questions? You would think, like Belinda, you would explain that. You would say, well, Cody was asked, you know, just regular questions, like however many baseline questions, but like 4 main questions.
I think he was asked baseline questions.
Yeah, but he never said that.
No, he didn't, but I just remember that being clarified. Because like anyone that we watch, like it doesn't all these experts, they say that that's just not how it goes. You're asked baseline questions to determine your truth, then you're asked the questions that they're going to ask you, right? And then they're going to ask you to lie about those questions. You're speaking to Daniel, yeah? If you speak to Daniel, ask him. Did they ask you?
No, he's stepped back from social media completely the other day. I got a text just out of the blue letting me know, like, I won't be responding to anybody anymore. So
yeah.
It happens. What else is there in here? Melissa, what are you doing? Weren't you looking for something? No?
Yeah, I'm looking for the court document that you said it said passed, but I haven't found it yet. But when we're off this live, I will continue looking through that, because if you've seen past, I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
It was literally just like a screenshot of the court docs, but it was in there. Like, I know it was in there. I know what I saw. And what were some of the other things? I know that Ron Mexico is real big on kind of taking the things that DT says and says, okay, they've been cleared, they've passed. What about the cameras? Where would I find Brad Wong's statement?
Yeah, but there's nothing about cameras.
Go to witnesses if you want Brad Wong's statement, and then it'll tell you where at in the court documents to go to.
Brian Ward. Do you know, I can't remember, did they talk to Brian Ward's wife?
Don't think. Oh, Brian Ward's wife?
Yeah.
Oh, what's her name? I can't remember.
Alicia.
I can't remember.
Alicia?
I think it's Alicia.
Alicia? Just wondering, because of that whole cluster of boot prints, who I believe is their child who got off the quad. That would have been interesting. But anyways, Brad Wong. They were talking about, what was it? They were talking about the camera footage and something in the document saying that because there was no camera footage, whatever, then the RCMP, and I don't mean this is not me, but the insinuation is Brad Wong is lying. And then they point back to the court documents and the wording there. So to substantiate, there's nothing to substantiate
Right.
There's
nothing to substantiate their claims. Not that they're lying, just nothing to substantiate it.
And I mean, it's all, they were saying, well, that the words matter, and this is exactly what the words say in the document. So I wanted to go back through that again, just to actually look at the wording, because I think they're just perceiving it wrong. And to me, I think they're just reading it wrong.
Charmaine, though, because he was taking from the clippings of a news article, the title. But where in the documents does it talk about that? About the cameras?
Yeah, I don't think it does.
No. Well, it must, though. It must.
So page 24.
The only thing that the documents that I have found that said anything about the cameras is under video footage.
Okay.
Under video footage? Let's see it. Bus. Video canvas.
What I would love to figure out how to do is where it says page whatever and section, make that like clickable, so it like takes you right to that section, but I have not figured out how to do that yet.
So it's just a hyperlink. I like how to do it on is this PDF or Word?
Google Documents.
Yeah, if it's a Word doc, you can just put it as a hyperlink. But then if anything gets moved or added and page numbers bump, then the whole thing goes all wonky. But anyways, what was I looking at? Brad Wong.
Cameras.
So 24.
I'm trying to remember where it said. Would say that.
2438. Hey, mathematician Melissa, do you remember? These ones are up 38. Okay. No, we should go another 10 down. Should be right here. Brad Wong information. I swear to God, I've got these documents and I've got probably like 5 copies of each one saved because I've got it like Brad Wong polygraph statements. Right here. Statement from Edmund Dixon, Ron McKenzie, Justin Smith, which is also a big one too. I didn't see Brad Wong in there though. Was that because he didn't want to give an official statement, do you think? Or have you seen Brad Wong's statement in here before?
Well, Brad Wong's in there, but it. Go ahead, Melissa.
I think Brad Wong on the one that's 38 pages was redacted. Hold on a second, and I can tell you because I can go to the witnesses section here.
Brad should be above Justin.
Page 24. So he was above Justin, I think. He was right after Edmund Dixon.
Well, he was right after Edmund?
So, yeah, he should have been right there, Brad Wong. Can you see it?
Yeah, Brad Wong said he did not wish to provide a statement, but was willing to have a conversation with police. He said early in the hours of May 2nd, 2025, he heard a loud vehicle coming and going in the area of 1407 Gerlach Road. He said his residence is at an elevated position from Daniel's residence, and he could see vehicle lights over the treetops. He said the vehicle left 3 or 4 times after midnight and into the early hours of the morning. He said the vehicle would drive off in the distance, and he could hear it stop and then return. He said it remained in earshot the entire time. But there's nowhere, I don't remember seeing anything in here that about the surveillance or any kind of video investigation regarding this specific information.
You talking about the cameras?
The cameras? Yeah.
Well, the thing is that if it was in an article, right? If it's in an article, it's usually it's because typically it's in the documents. So when they were releasing that, it would have been something in the documents when they were bringing those out, because that was the whole point of it. New documents were coming out. CBC and Ali and that and Globe and Mail were doing new information. I just don't remember in the documents where it is about the video footage, because in the scanner there was just the one. But the thing is that when they come out with those titles, it's because it's something that's in those documents.
Right. So is there where, how do you search? Can I do a Control F in here?
Try.
Not on the court document section. You can't, like, through the actual court documents. I've got to figure out how to do that. But let me see here. I want to say it was in a footnote.
That's pretty significant to put in a footnote. These footnotes are, compared to the Delphi footnotes, these ones are kind of lackluster, to say the least.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the documents in a while, so I just know that when the reporting come out, for sure that it's in the document somewhere for them to report on that, and because that was the whole purpose of these new.
Yeah.
But again, is it a document that they have that we don't?
No. We have all the documents.
That's wild. And other people are remembering too, seeing the word passed for Wade and Cody both. So this must be like a first draft or something. It gets wild because it should be the same information.
Let's see.
Right? I would think. Denise, we'll come back to that. But here's another one that I found interesting, because people are constantly talking about Cindy, in the timeline when Cindy arrived, because we heard at first Daniel said that she was there like 12 minutes after the RCMP arrived. Then we saw, can't remember the exact order, but we ended up seeing like a screenshot or something of somebody's phone, their call log, to show that Cindy had talked to Malaya well after the RCMP had arrived and was basically still en route, just, heading there. So we knew that wasn't true. But then there's like my big thing about the 8:28 a.m. phone call with Malaya makes me believe that she was awake and either she knew her kids were outside or the kids never went outside, one of the two. But then allegations that Cindy is kind of the mastermind behind having the kids somewhere. So, I mean, we can go through Cindy's statement if you want. Unless Melissa's looking for something, I can't remember. Exactly what.
So can we just talk about, let me see here. Let me find the exact, go to page 8 of 47. I got something I want to talk about. Maybe somebody can make.
Okay, let me just quickly. Don't mind, Melissa, for 1 second. Just let me quickly interrupt. Now, I'm asking about. I'm asking obviously to somebody about that, but remember there was clarifying questions. So that's might have been where it came from, Charmaine, is because reporters got a chance to ask some clarifying questions. And so it could have been about the cameras at that point, about the vehicles. Sorry, about the vehicles. I think that ended up being a clarifying question. About that is what I'm thinking.
Right.
That when it talked about yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Makes
Sorry,
sense.
Melissa. I just wanted to say that.
You're fine.
So
8
of 47.
Yeah, 8 of 47. Where it is Janie talking, and in section C there in 1, it says, hold on, you're scrolling here. Janie was concerned about the timeline because there was no way the kids could have walked from the yard up the road to where Daniel was in the vehicle without her seeing them. Okay. First time I read that, nothing popped out. Understood it. But then I got to thinking, how the heck would she have seen them if she was asleep like she claims in that time frame?
Okay, maybe we should, okay, so context and words matter. So let's read it again. Janie provided some background information. Janie was concerned about the timeline because there was no way the kids could have walked from the yard up to the road where Daniel was in the vehicle without her seeing them. Sunny, make it make sense.
Sorry. What did you say? Sorry, I was too busy talking to said person in the background there.
Okay.
About the camera. Sorry, what did you say? Janie provided some background. Janie was concerned about the time. There's no way the kids could have walked from the yard. I remember this, up the road where Daniel was in the vehicle without her seeing them.
And Daniel.
But she was asleep at that time.
Where does Daniel fit into? Why would up to the road where Daniel was in the vehicle without her seeing them? What?
Right? I mean, that sounds about the time when she's going up to the old road, I'm guessing.
Yes. That is when Daniel went up and was searching in the vehicle, and he was up by the old road. And she said there was no way that the kids could have went up the driveway past her trailer up to where Daniel was on the old road in the vehicle without her seeing them. But she was asleep at the time the kids went missing, she said. So, which is it?
I think that she's just meaning, though, that, if they wandered off the property, right? Like, how in this short span of time, how could they not have been seen? That's how I took that paragraph when I read that a while back myself.
Okay, so then on the same page in section 3, she said she's seen the kids were in. She said the kids were in school on Monday and Tuesday because the bus picked them up right outside the house. Wednesday was an in-service day, and they were home, but they went to their grandmother's house to do laundry, which we already know. Okay, so then the next day, and then didn't get home till 10. On Thursday, they didn't go to school, but they were in the yard playing through the day, and she gave them snacks. Well, if you go to the timeline and you look at everything else that was said, on Thursday, according to Malaya, the family was up by 9 o'clock, and then they headed out to get the kids breakfast. That's when they went to Dollarama and all of that. They didn't get home until 4 o'clock. So, how do you see them throughout the day? How do you give them snacks throughout the day, but they're not even
Yeah.
home?
I know, right? Hey, hi,
wild.
Ian. I saw you, Ian, by the way. Hi,
Hi,
Ian.
Sunny. Oh,
Like this 5 minutes of fame. So, come on,
No,
Lisa.
Melissa, come right back to that. Charmaine, so the answer was it was a clarifying question
Okay.
about the cameras or vehicles, and for that one. As for Jessica, we've talked about actually this quite a few times. Is that Brad said it was a Kia Rio that Daniel drove for like a year and a half. And he said he knew the sound of that car. And so Melissa's saying, and I get this too, because it never made sense to me. How are you giving them snacks when they're freaking gone till 3:11?
Yeah. And yeah.
And all of a sudden you're giving them snacks all day?
Yeah. And why is number 2? Janie said when the kids were in the yard, she usually watched them the most. Why is that redacted?
Right?
I'm going to
Because
assume that that's where she said she would call Malaya and tell them the kids didn't have boots on or jackets on or whatever, is my assumption of what that is saying.
and Janie said Malaya and Daniel are having financial difficulties, redacted. Again, is it because they owe the government money and that's redacted, or was it because of the, I guess, missing money from Grandma Patty? I guess, who knows? Janie said Jack would not go for a walk on his own. She said she, Jack, Lily, and Daniel went for walks in the woods all the time, and they had to carry Jack sometimes because he got tired and would just sit in one place. Janie said she does not believe the kids are in the woods. And this was, I guess we don't know, on May 2nd, May 5th. So 2 days she gave statements. So I guess before the search had ended, she had decided the kids weren't in the woods. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I took it, and that's concerning to me.
Yeah. I cannot get out of my head, like I don't understand why they stayed in the woods for so long, searching for the kids in the woods for so long, when there was no scent, there was no,
Yeah.
that we know of, there was no evidence that they actually wandered into the woods. So what made them stay out there for 6 days? You know what I mean? That is never going to stop bothering me. Because if they had a scent going to the road and it ended there, but we're looking in the woods, what made them so confident that the kids were in the woods? Do you guys have any theories or ideas about that? Because
No.
that's going to bother me forever. Why they spent so much time out there. Thank you, Wolfie. That's so nice.
I think
Thank
it comes.
you.
I think it comes back to what the parents said, that they wandered off in the woods. But we know Jack was known to wander because it says so in the court documents that Jack was known to wander off, and that was from Malaya herself on the 911 dispatch. So he didn't like going in the woods. Janie said it. He didn't like going for walks on his own. Janie said in that one interview, she practically had to drag him in the woods, and then it was changed to carry, and drag was completely taken out. So why was her first thought when she heard that the kids were missing to go look in the woods? If you had to practically carry him through the woods, he didn't like the woods. So why was your first thought, oh, I should go check the woods?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm allowed to make co-hosts of people.
You're allowed to make a one co-host if you're on the second plan, like not the free plan, but the second plan.
Yeah, I'm on the paid plan.
Yeah, but if it's the second one, because there's like, well, I think there's 4 tiers of it, 3 or 4. So like with mine, Charmaine, I can only add one co-host, right? And you're the co-host.
I'm just trying to figure out because it'd probably be a lot easier because this is still very painful for people that have to. And I feel sorry for you guys being up here with me because I'm just like, okay, we're just gonna wing it, and I'm gonna find the shit as we go, and then I can't find the shit as we go. You know what I mean? So, like, I should probably be a little bit better prepared. I wasn't expecting Sunny to be up here, so everybody just has to forgive me that I'm not as organized as Sunny is.
I know. I've been playing around with it a lot longer.
So here's the thing, and I mean, not to switch gears, I still, this whole thing, but I kind of jump around a little bit. Has anybody watched Hunter S. True Crime?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I did not. Is it good? It's half an hour. What the fuck?
Yeah, like it was basically kind of what he does typically, where he shows things that are said and then like the inconsistencies a bit like that. So yeah, it was just kind of one of those videos where Daniel would be talking about something and then he'd play another clip where it was kind of like in contradictory.
So I don't know. Chat want to go and watch it or some of it, or Mike MX did a couple videos yesterday. They're shorter, but the Portal one is kind of, I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool. I'd like to play that. I have to go and flip Ian's pizza rolls. So, and I was trying to make Sunny and Melissa co-host so they could do stuff on here, but instead of that, I'm just going to play this video.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go flip Ian's pizza rolls. And then we'll come back to the document.
Put it on like 1.25 speed or something, eh?
1.2. Why is he slow? Do you find him
Well,
slow?
it's just, no, but it just speeds it up a bit. And it's not too bad. It's definitely not too bad when it's on 1.25. It's up to you.
Okay, so no, for sure I will. But if that's the case, then if I'm not back in time, then you guys have to just talk with.
Oh, okay. So this is Mike's video.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to do like I'm not going to do a 30-minute video.
Okay.
In here to kind of start and stop it if I had to.
Doesn't Ian know how to flip his own pizza rolls?
Okay, I'm going to mute myself, and then here we go.
Walking through the portal, thinking about Jack and Lily. And just a few things. From very early on, when the overheard dispatch audio came out, there was a couple of big red flags, and I'll just put them in here.
Make sure Mom stays close to the house there in case they happen to sneak out and get back into the house.
In the bedroom, we called this morning and they haven't been seen since then. I need to get a good statement and figure stuff out.
Oops.
Yeah, so there's that. And this was May 2nd, around midday. And even before those dispatch words came out over the radio, they were talking about the search going to extend into the next day. So from the back chatter, it sounds very much like the people on the ground were getting set, and they were already realizing that this just wasn't a normal walking away of children. And later on, we get the documents. And in the documents, we have reference for septic searches. And especially the one at Lorda Park was mentioned. And Lorda Park opened in 1986 and it closed officially in 2022. Septic tank regulations had already come into effect in 1985. And I'll just go to the documents just to get a reference for that. Okay, this is the documents with reference for the septic searches. And they were both done on Gerlach Road on the residence and nearby Lorda campground. And we'll read from A. On May 21st, 2025, Constable McIntyre and Constable Donaldson went to Janie's residence and arranged for the septic tank to be pumped. Janie gave permission for it to be pumped. Nothing was located. And at B, on May 30th, 2024, Constable Donaldson and Constable Ronahan met with the owners Wanda Lease and Todd Pellerin of Lorda Campground. The following was searched. All locked and unlocked buildings were searched with nothing located. 3 septic tanks were pumped and a camera was used to search inside the tanks. Nothing was located. And I'll just go to show a typical septic tank, and by and far the septic tanks in the area were mostly, nearly probably 100%, were concrete tanks made to a specific standard. I'll just go into that. Septic tanks of the time were concrete construction, often reinforced, with lids and wedge-shaped, as in they didn't fall into the tank. They were keystoned as such. And as well as that, they were extremely heavy, the lids, extremely heavy, as in 100 kilograms plus in most cases, with most vents and access holes extremely small, as in 3 inches, max 4 inch. So a child is not going to lift a 100 kilogram plus lid. It's not going to happen. And they're not going to get into a 4 inch hole. So I'll just continue on. So yeah, to me, from very early on, the RCMP was not just treating this as a walk away.
Did he just imply that the kids wouldn't fit through that opening? I'm just asking.
Yeah, he must not know anything about the Chris Watts case.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, as devastatingly tragic as that is, they absolutely could. I mean, if they're not alive, I don't want to get into it, but you know what I mean? That's not entirely accurate, unfortunately. Thank you, Arsene. That is so sweet. And I will always, I take my special trip. I get an ice cap and I get my Diet Coke on my days that I do live streams. And then this here, guys, last seen at 8 a.m., but Malaya called her mom on Facebook Messenger at 8:28. Yeah, right? And where did we hear the 8 a.m.? Last seen at 8 a.m., that was the dispatch. So I don't know, you guys can correct me, but I don't know that that was official, or was it just kind of the assumption during the dispatch?
I think it was more of an assumption, because they were like between 8 and 8:30 or whatever that they were last seen. So police would have went with the 8 o'clock because it was the earlier of the times.
Yeah.
But to go with that, not only did she call her mom at 8:48, but in Janie's first statement to police, she said that she thought she learned that the kids were missing around 8:48.
Right. She had said at first in her statements that it was before the phone call to Ron, and then later retracted and said it was after. Right.
Right, right. And the phone call to Ron was 1 minute and 39 seconds, I believe.
I think it was 159, wasn't it? No, it was like 2 minutes or something. I don't know. Shoot.
It was just under 2 minutes, and you think, so by 8:50 she was off the phone with Ron, and either way, and I don't know, the whole fucking thing makes no sense.
Nope.
Makes me want to go back to Jeannie's clips. I won't, but makes me want to.
I know.
Which
It
I
was
might
2 minutes and 49 seconds.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, Melissa, I came up with the picture just as you said that.
It was 2 minutes and 49 seconds. I mean, seconds don't
that
really
was
matter.
the phone call with Ron and Janie.
It was 2:59. It says right here, 2:59. I got the phone right in front of me of her holding it. So 2 minutes and 59 seconds at 8:48. Yeah. The missed audio.
Seems like they were all looking for children that were alive. I think after a certain point, fairly early on, they realized that if the kids were out there, they wouldn't be alive. But again, there are so many searchers out there. I don't think that, to me, it doesn't make sense that they would be missed, overlooked. I don't know. And the heat signatures, I don't know. It's a very odd case. You don't necessarily need to dig up, open them, Ginger. Some have risers that are above the ground. Yeah. And what do you guys think of the possibility of a mine shaft? Because there's a lot of talk about mine shafts.
I think it's a possibility that they're dead in a mine shaft somewhere, that they were put in one. Daniel, like if it has anything to do with Daniel, he knows that area, like anyone would, like the back of their woods, right? They just know it. So I think it's possible that they're in a mine shaft somewhere out there, but not because they fell in one.
Right. And
so I was talking to Brad the other day, and he told me he himself had searched and had looked in mine shafts more than once that are there in that area. And I think it's a very distinct possibility. I mean, if you think about it, if you unalive somebody, you've got to get rid of them quick. You don't have time to dig a grave. You don't want to put them in water. You don't want them found. What's the next best thing if you know there's a mine shaft? Shut them down in it, because those are long and dark, and like it's almost the ideal place to put somebody if you don't want them found. So I think it's a very good possibility that they're in a mine shaft.
I can't help but think, about Brad saying that I think it was the McLeod. Pretty sure it was the McLeod, where he said the vehicle, like it was like stopped for 20 minutes. I just, because I just try to think, I mean, we're just going by his recollection. Right. And if you truly look at it, the recollection between Brad and Justin's time is off for the Laird Road. It's different. But the thing is, the point is that they still both were talking about that one. But yeah, I just can't help but think about the 20 minutes. I just keep in my head myself wondering, if the bodies were disposed and this was family involvement, how far really would Daniel, let's say, have gone in that time? Because if there's that many trips going on and you're in panic mode, would you just kind of, I don't know. I'm hearing feedback.
So there were bins. And there were bins. It looked like there was like concrete or something in the bins at the property in some of those pictures early on. I remember when I was talking to somebody about the possibility of them being in a mine shaft, I thought, you would think that HRD dogs would pick something up, even if it was underground in a mine shaft. But then they brought up this, and I don't know anything about them, but sometimes when they're decommissioning a mine or something, they will seal it with concrete and nothing, basically there's no fumes or anything that's going to get out from, it's not
Right.
going to break that concrete seal. It's called, well, in my line of work, we call them mud plugs, and it's basically just, we use mud and stuff, and we're just literally just killing off a pipeline underground, right? But in a mine shaft case, they use concrete. So the fact that there were some concrete bins or looked like unmixed concrete in bins made this individual think that maybe perhaps, you know, concrete was used to kind of seal them into somewhere. And maybe it wasn't mud on those key fob. Maybe it was a residue of some concrete dust. So that was another. But to think that we're thinking of this stuff and the RCMP haven't, just.
Well, Sherman, why am I hearing myself?
Oh, maybe because I'm not muted. I don't know.
No, that shouldn't be still. I'll say this. That the RCMP are confident that they will solve this case. That's recent words. That the RCMP, I'm confident that they will. Just a matter of.
Oh, me too, absolutely. And it's too bad that we can't be given an inkling of where they're at, if they're close, or, you know, they don't have to tell us everything that they have or what direction they're going, but if they feel like they're close, or if we're still, you know, waiting for, I don't know, the smoking gun, so to speak. I mean, that would be a little bit disheartening, because if there hasn't been one yet, I don't know that there's been just so much time for anybody to kind of clean up their mess or cover their tracks or move things or, you know, plant things. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much time has gone past to have there's no way they're going to have a pristine crime scene at this point, even a recovery scene.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this because now we have information. So if we look at the map down here, we see Lansdowne Station Road, and then Lansdowne Road, and then Gairloch Road is right there, right? So it was brought to my attention yesterday during our big live stream that there was something in this area here at the corner of McLeod and Simpson 2 Road that looked a little bit troubling, to say the least, right? And so,
Ominous?
Ominous. So after the live, I had sent it to our creators group, and we were all kind of like, what the hell? It looked terrible. And we were brainstorming, who can we get to go out there and check this out as quickly as possible. Because when we looked at it and we saw that, after our 5-hour long tired eyes and I think fatigued brains, we were worried that this here could have been something terribly devastating. In fact, I think a few of us lost some sleep worrying about it. Right? So we were touring the area. There are other things in the area that we couldn't quite identify, but it was a very interesting, I don't even know if you want to call it piece of information, but it was troubling. And I think a lot of us were like, what the hell?
Just quickly, Charmaine. Melissa, does Charmaine sound as horrible to you right now as she does to me? Like, she keeps crackling in and out. Are you guys hearing that in chat as well, or is it just me? Because if it's just me, I'll go back.
I'm hearing it, but I also have very bad internet right now, so I thought it was just me.
Okay.
And I too heard the feedback earlier.
Okay, so she is crackling, yeah. Okay.
I'm crackling. I swear to God, you guys, I will get a new microphone. This is my third mic.
Oh.
And I've got the same mic that Sunny's got.
Yeah.
The exact same mic that Sunny's got. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Anyways, did you
I
guys,
got a
did you
cheap
guys,
$40 mic.
yeah. Did you guys get the gist of what I was saying about this?
Yeah.
With
You were
Sim
just,
yesterday? Yeah.
yeah, your voice goes in and out. It's like goes in and out of crackling. But you can still hear what you were saying.
See if that's any better. Like, I don't know what to do. I've tried everything, so I will get a new mic. Both my mics have come from Amazon. That's as close in as I can zoom, Jane. But it does look. This is what we were working with last night. We were like, we were quite upset about it. We thought, oh my gosh.
So
And looking at
for
the
those
location.
that watched last night, when I told Sunny to go to our chat, this is what I was referring to. I just didn't know how to explain the picture on the live. I wanted her to go look at it because so many of us, we were so tired and we were looking at this, and what we seen in that
I mean,
was very ominous. And I personally didn't get to sleep until almost 4 o'clock this morning because I couldn't get this out of my head.
Yeah, but it doesn't look as bad as when Charmaine's looking at it now. What we were seeing in yesterday, it literally looked like a little face was staring at you. You know,
And
it looked like two little faces were staring at you.
I didn't see two. I saw one. But
it looked terrible. So anyways, we have some really great people in our circle who help us sort out certain information. So one of those people went out there today. And hopefully I'm not going to play the audio, but I can kind of narrate it for you. But this is the intersection that we were just looking at. And here's a real time from today. So there's the the McLeod Road, I believe. And this is what we were looking at. And they get right up close to it so we can see it's in fact a couple of rocks, thankfully. I mean,
yeah, that was the pile.
Yeah. But when we were seeing it last night, it was terrifying. And Justin was telling us in our chat that it happens in cases. Sometimes things are found months and years later, like right where the searches have been dozens of times. So we were concerned and we threw it out to people, and obviously it was way after dark when we first saw it last night, so they didn't go out last night, but first thing this morning we had people go out there, and thankfully it was nothing, and at the same time, unfortunately, it was nothing. Yeah.
Wolfie says the Blair Witch. I remember that movie, that one. The Blair Witch.
Where's the material in the tree? Oh, I didn't even ask them to video that, Marie. I'm sorry. Yeah. And I mean, I think it was tipped into the RCMP, obviously, clearly. It was tipped in right away. But we were just so worried that because of all the talk about, people, it taking them 8 days to go out to talk to Brad, and there's this rumor about them possibly misplacing evidence, and there's always the possibility that something is overlooked. So just for our own peace of mind, this individual went out there this morning, and this is what it is. So if anybody sees screenshots going around up there, it is though, Marie. It is. If I could play the audio, which I'm not going to, they clearly describe where they are. They're at the corner of McLeod and Simpson 2 Road.
And the exact coordinates of what we were seeing was sent. So it's not like, just go down McLeod, it's over by here. The exact coordinates of what we seen was sent to the people to go look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're local as well. So it's not like this area is foreign to them and they didn't know exactly where they were heading to. And this is an easy place to find, because when you look at the Google Maps, like it's right at the intersection, right? So we can come down here, zoom out. And so you've got McLeod.
Marie is correct though.
What?
she's saying that the tree isn't there. The screenshot and what we're showing on the Google Maps was taken in August, and the live video was taken from today.
Right. And Ian said that this to him, this area here where it's kind of cleared out, it looks to him, it looked like maybe a vehicle went into the ditch right here during the wintertime. And this is kind of just the remnants of that after it drying out and stuff. That's what it looked like to him. But when you've got the tired eyes and the fatigued brain like we did last night, and you see this, we're just like, oh my gosh. And this was interesting too, you know, up here. I forgot to ask the person to check that out. I was just so stoked that they were going to go out there for us. But oh, absolutely, I agree with you.
So I don't really see any flagging in that area, you know, from the searchers. I don't really see any flag. Well, no, that's Google Earth. Sorry, my bad.
This is Google Earth, yeah.
Yeah, viewpoint. The viewpoint one gives you like way more up to date visuals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called viewpoint map. But thing is that it's kind of a combination of the two, because the viewpoint map is kind of like a real estate map, but it's a real up to date more with the surrounding area, how it looks. But Google Earth is where you could plunk in the coordinates, right? So it's kind of like I play with both.
Oh, well, I've never even heard of viewpoint. Map time is not my thing, right? It's just not my thing. So, yeah. And I wanted to, because I have no doubt that those pictures will make their rounds and people have every right to, you know, look at it and be concerned, because, you know, we were concerned. Absolutely. So just know that we put that to rest this morning, and you don't really see any ribbons in the person's video from today either. Well, no, but it's been 8 months, almost 8 months.
Yeah, but the ribbons would still be there if they were searched. They're still there. So
you're right, though.
Sorry, what?
I don't see any ribbons.
Yeah. Because Melissa, if I'm not mistaken, the search was more geared towards Lansdowne and all that area, like the most, was it not?
Yeah, and let me play devil's advocate and say this. If this would have been, God forbid, this would have been the kids, and people want to say, well, the search. Well, I don't know how far out the search exactly went as far as this area without overlaying it on a map, and I don't want to do that right now. But I do know that when Please Bring Me Home did their search, Group 2 walked really close to this area, but did not actually search this area.
Because they were just doing the waterway in that area.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if, well, okay, one person who is still a searcher had said that this area would have been in the original search area. So that leads me to believe that this is not any further than 6 kilometers from 7, because they went out like 4.7 kilometers, did they not? Or they moved it up to 6. And
they
that's
did. But the mapping is, I have to look at the mapping again.
The search map, I don't have that.
Yeah.
No one interested in what? I missed that. Are you talking about this? Nobody's interested in this? Okay, here we go. I'd be interested if there are species of plant, Charmaine, only found in the local area. Oh yeah, in the UK. Yeah. I mean, I don't know nobody here is local. But I mean, I would think, and I could be wrong, but I would think is this a boreal forest? I know that in BC and Alberta, we're all boreal forests, which would have pretty much like, the same kind of plant life. Do you guys, does anybody know? Actually, I'm trying to think who in chat here right now is local.
Yeah, I've heard people talk about it, but I don't remember. You talking about the different trees and that?
Yeah, different
Yeah.
plant life from Nova Scotia East Coast to West Coast. Like I know here we are boreal forest.
I guess we can Google it.
Charmaine, I have a point for DNA purposes if the children are found.
Acadian forest.
To what, sorry?
It's called it says Nova Scotia's forests are primarily part of a unique Acadian forest region. A diverse mix of hardwoods, maple, birch, and beech, and softwoods, spruce, fir, pine, and hemlock. And it says between North American boreal and eastern deciduous forests, which okay. So yeah.
Huh. I mean, I bet you there is unique plant life to the East Coast, maybe not to that specific area. Hey, Mike, good to see you.
Maritime boreal forest.
Yeah. It's an area that had been cut and is now growing up in alders. Okay.
So Marie asked if you had anybody that went and checked out the other photograph that we were looking at last night.
The one that looks like the bin. We had reached one set of coordinates that brought us here, and then in this area, Sunny did find on the map. She did find a bin, but unfortunately, once she kind of clicked off of it and kept looking, couldn't find it again.
Yeah, Charmaine, it was go to your left. Yeah, go to your left. Go to your left. Because I couldn't find it. You see that? Okay, go a little bit further down the road, and you see that big tree right there. Okay, so that I could tell by the picture that I had sent you that was the tree there, but I couldn't find so when I first clicked on it, because what I was thinking about, why is the audio so bad in here today? Jeez, 1 second.
It's probably got nothing to do with you. It's probably just my mind.
But anyways, so I'm hearing my own feedback.
I'm gonna mute myself, guys.
Okay, so I'll probably try to leave and then come back if you don't mind. But anyways, so when I went there yesterday, originally, the reason why I was looking, just took a quick look, is because of that other picture that you had with some sort of blue item in the trees, right? And so then, because there was the 3 pictures that you had sent, the ones that Melissa was talking about during the live, and so when I clicked on there where that tree was, I was like, oh, this must be that blue item that was in that picture that Charmaine had put in our messenger chat. But honestly, Charmaine, when I went back, because to the right of that big tree that has like some sort of horseshoe look or whatever you want to call it, I couldn't find it again. But the first time I went there, it gave me this very blue coloring of something. So I knew I was looking in the same spot finally, but I didn't see this blue item that it looked like the first time when you sent off the link. So I was like, what the heck? Why did this blue item just stand out to me? And then all of a sudden I'm in the same spot and I don't see it again. So it could have just been an illusion of a coloring of a tree, but it was just crazy how it was blue. And I just figured that was the picture that I was going, oh, that's where that blue picture came from. Because remember, there was the second picture that had like some blue item in the trees yesterday that you had put out in Messenger. You put out that one with what we thought was this weird baby face. There's 3 pictures you put in our chat last night. So I just assumed that
Marie said, well, Marie said that the bin she found was stuffed behind trees by the bridge. So that blue that we were And in the trees, that
Yeah.
was by the bridge.
No, but what I was specifically looking at was beside that tree. So yeah, so if that was by the bridge, that picture that Charmaine had put in there yesterday, then I totally get that. I just happened to see this blue thing within where that tree was that Charmaine was just at. But then when I went back to go look and find it again, I was in the same spot, but I just didn't get that same bluey image again. Because it was bugging me, because I knew by my own picture or screenshot that I took that big tree stump thing, or that big tree with the big arms to it. Anyways, we'll call it a nothing burger for that.
The bin may or may not be, but again,
Yeah, the bin one.
from what I understand, this is part of the original search area. You know what I mean? I don't even know.
Yeah,
what
I
to
know
call
they
it.
searched McLeod Road by the bridge well.
Yes, and this same person did this
Yeah.
video actually the day of the Please Bring Me Home search. They actually were searching the Cloud River area, not Please Bring Me Home, just kind of on their own. So, and I've got tons of video of that. Maybe there's a bin or something in those videos. I don't recall anything standing out. So, my sound is really shitty, you guys, and I'm not going to stay on much longer just because my sound and my light and it's all kinds of messed up today. But tomorrow I'm going to do members only live just right before Christmas, because then I'm leaving. I'll be gone for 4 days. And I'm not sure if Sunny's going to go live.
No, I have to work 10 to 6. No, I'm not going to be live this week that I know of.
Okay.
Maybe Christmas Day, maybe.
Yeah, that'll be nice. The guy might do a surprise live on Christmas Day, and if not, I'll be back late on Boxing Day. But so here's the bridge. Is this the bridge? This is the bridge that I know that the videographer, I guess, went and searched the day of the Please Bring Me Home search. And don't get me wrong, like there's an absolute ton of garbage and just shit laying around everywhere out here. But I don't recall any of the stuff that she located being a blue bin. So
Because that's the star where the star was found, that bridge.
yeah, right. And that's what drove them back there, to just have a better look. So I'm not sure if there was a question in chat. Yeah, it might be better when other people are muted. Like I've been having, like some days the mic works fine, other days it's just shit, and I just don't even have it in me to play around with it. And I think that
Marie says, see it.
45 minutes is just fine after a 5-hour live yesterday.
Yeah.
Behind the black or yellow and black sign thing. Oh, right here.
Oh yeah, right there. Okay. I was gonna say, hey, Melissa, that's that thing we were looking for yesterday. It was that piece on the bridge.
There it
Never
is.
looked at- Yeah.
Do you guys think that looks Rubbermaid-ish?
Looks like a tarp or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You have to look at the perspective, like the size, and is it up in a tree, or is that through the trees on the ground? Like we don't know what the elevation is back there.
I would guess it was on the ground.
Can we have our local guy go check that out?
Yeah, like
I can't see. So yeah, it's right on the cloud bridge. There's the signage. We need to take a screenshot for them, do you think, guys?
Well, we have the screenshot already.
Yeah. I mean,
We
I
just
got
need
it.
the coordinates of it.
Oh, it's right
Like
at the
if he's-
bridge.
Yeah, the McLeod River Bridge on McLeod Road. That's pretty self-explanatory because he'd be driving right down there anyways, right? But we could definitely get somebody to probably go out there, if not today, tomorrow. Check that out. I mean, it's something. There's definitely something in there. I don't think I would go so far as to say it's, Jack's blue coat, which I think was found anyways. But I certainly think it's worth a look. And I'm not seeing a whole bunch of search ribbons everywhere, anywhere. There's one. There's a ribbon. So, but like Justin said yesterday, things get missed all the time in these searches. So, yeah. What do you think of that? Anybody have anything else you want to add?
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
And if you imagine if in water the kids would surface long before now and a fisherman or something. Well, tell me, Lori, where is there water deep enough and fast enough to carry the kids away? Like even this in the, I guess it would have been, no, it was the summertime. Somebody went out there and sent me a video, and it wasn't like a heavily running river, I don't see how children could be floating down without being seen, or there's so many rocks, something getting caught up, including them themselves getting caught up. I don't see it, I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't know. I don't see it myself.
We have to think like a narcissist.
Yeah.
That's our problem. Anyone a narcissist in this room that's going to admit to it? That to me is like, you have to me, if it's family involvement, and you'd have to think like how, I don't know. That boggles my mind every day, where these children could have been taken, placed.
Well, it does those of us who truly care, like Charmaine said earlier, there's several of us in that chat, and several of us lost sleep last night. I was one of them. I just couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep well. I didn't get to sleep till late. It bugged me. It really did, until I got confirmation that it's not what I was seeing. And yes, my eyes were tired. And yes, I know your brain can play tricks on you. I get that. But what we were seeing was very ominous in the context of what we were
because it's
discussing and thinking.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, really, it's called pareidolia. When something can look like something, but really, at the end of the day, it was nothing. But yet, when you looked at it, you could literally make out what looked like a face, but yet chances are, once that person went and you go look at it, you realize was rocks and whatever. But sometimes Google Earth can freak you out with sometimes what something looks like. But anyways, at least that riddle was
Well, I
solved.
even said that last night. Is I said, chances are it's just rocks, and I'm gonna tell myself, to my brain, that it's rocks so that I can sleep. But that didn't work, even though I knew, my brain knew that 9 out of 10 it's rocks, and you're seeing a Jesus in the toast, or a Cheeto that looks like Iowa, or whatever. You're seeing something that's not there. Your brain is playing tricks on you. But I still couldn't get out of my head the, what if it's not? What if it's not playing tricks on me? What if it really is something? And
Yeah,
I told myself it wasn't. Like, it bugged me.
Oh, exactly. And you have to put your own mind at ease, and you know, I think it was worth checking out absolutely, because like I said, for our own peace of mind. So I think it turned out well, I think. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna call it
Yeah.
now. My camera's gone. I can't, and I don't understand any of what's going on today. So
Aw.
I'm going to get going, and
All right.
hopefully,
Love you guys.
love you too. Thank you for being here, Sunny, and AJ. Thanks for helping me out with those court documents. And if you haven't subscribed to Melissa's channel, do you have a link for it there, Melissa? I think I've got yours in my list here. Up a second.
I can try to grab it. I think I have one handy. Yeah, I do.
I was gonna say, if not, I got it. Unless you already have it.
So here's Melissa's channel, and go over, subscribe. She's a genius. Do this full document thing. Open it up. You can click through it. It's awesome. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, Melissa. And I will see my
You're welcome.
members tomorrow. And if anybody else has anything to say, now's the time. Otherwise,
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. See you
Yeah.
members tomorrow. Bye,
Bye,
all.
guys.
Bye, guys.